Two teams are left skating. We'll look at both in our Kelly Cup Finals preview. A longtime coach is sticking around. And a long-ago player reflects on the first time the Kelly Cup was awarded. These stories and more right now. It's time for another ECHL Week.
Hi, welcome to ECHL Week. I'm Barry Schickling. The season started in December, and we've made it all the way through to the final round of the postseason. This year's championship matchup pits a team in the title round for a record sixth time against another making its Kelly Cup Finals debut. Let's take a closer look.
With as much talent as ever throughout the league this season, it's hardly a surprise that the South Carolina Stingrays, the final team to qualify for the Kelly Cup playoffs this season, will be going up against the Western Conference's third seed, the Fort Wayne Komets. But the Stingrays, who have only missed the postseason one time since joining the ECHL in 1993, usually seem to find a way. How else can you explain the Rays' third appearance in the Kelly Cup Finals since 2015? Or that South Carolina is attempting to become the first team to win the ECHL title 4 times. This is an experienced team with good balance on both the forward and blue lines, and not surprisingly, this group knows how to wrap things up. Including both the regular season and the playoffs, the Stingrays are 23-1-2 when leading after 2 periods. One area where South Carolina has struggled in the postseason is on the penalty kill, but considering the Rays have been assessed the fewest penalty minutes, that might not be an issue. Also, the power play's been clicking in the last few weeks, a better than 19% success rate. One area where the Stingrays do not have experience is in goal, but Hunter Shepard, who's one of 5 Stingrays playing on an AHL contract this season, has done just fine so far. He's played all but 1 period of the playoffs to date and has been up to the task. The Stingrays' Ryan Blair is the 5th man to lead a team to the Kelly Cup Finals in his first season as a head coach. Despite his lack of experience, he's obviously well equipped to handle what is almost always an intense confrontation. But despite South Carolina's playoff run, which includes eliminating regular season champion Florida in the first round, it would be hard to call the Stingrays favorites. After all, Fort Wayne knocked off Allen in the Western Conference final round. That's the Americans team which led the ECHL in both victories and points this regular season. The Komets also battled through a grueling 5-game defeat of Wichita in the first round. Fort Wayne was able to sign numerous players from teams which opted out of the season for pandemic purposes, and those players have contributed significantly. They include Jackson Leaf and Justin Vive up front, along with Randy Gazzola and Mathieu Brodeur on defense. The Komets have a bigger team, which might explain the fact that they lead the ECHL in playoff penalty minutes, something which improves upon a middle-of-the-pack ranking on both special teams, would likely please head coach Ben Boudreau, whose dad Bruce won the Kelly Cup as coach of Mississippi in 1999. The offense is strong and balanced. Anthony Nellis and Stephen Harper are 2 of the 4 players tied at the top of the league scoring table in the playoffs. One player to keep an eye on is veteran captain A.J. Jenks, who's contributed 2 shorthanded goals this postseason. Like the Rays, the Komets can put the hammer down late in games as evidenced by their 23-0-3 record when leading after 2 periods in both the regular season and playoffs. Goaltender Dylan Ferguson is the only player in this series on an NHL contract. It's with Vegas. He's only had 27 games of regular season experience in the ECHL, but he's started all 9 playoff games this year. The Komets lost 3 games in North Charleston in March, but both rosters and circumstances have changed plenty in the last 3 months. A key, as it often is in playoff series, watch the special teams. Whichever team fares best in those areas has an excellent chance of skating around the ice at the Allen County Memorial Coliseum with the Kelly Cup in hand next week.
South Carolina is making its 6th appearance in the Kelly Cup Finals. The Stingrays were also part of the very first Kelly Cup Final Series in 1997. We recently spoke with a member of that team, Steve Parsons, who talked about his memories and recollections of that series and championship won by the Rays 24 years ago.
Winning the Brabham Cup, the regular season championship, was quite an honor, and obviously that was amazing. But then to win the Kelly Cup, we were cursed. Like, we were told that no team have ever won both of them, you know, the regular season in the playoff championship. So that was in our mind, but we wanted to obviously do otherwise. And the rings that the owners got made for each player and the staff were like unbelievable, huge, and I don't know how much they cost, but like when I put that thing on my finger for the first time, wow, that was really impressive. Brophy was obviously a great coach and a great motivator, and played mind games. I remember a couple of games he wouldn't have their team take the warm-up, and so we're out there in warm-up and his bench is completely empty, and I'm telling you, it psychs you right out. So we're warming up there for 15-20 minutes by ourselves, and they're not on the ice, and it's just like before what game in Hampton Roads, and I'm like, and then when they came out and dropped the puck, they were like, Brophy must have scared them, because they came out like warriors, and I'll tell you, they destroyed us. We became really close right away in training camp when I first met him, but we were actually roommates on the road in the motel rooms. So we have lots of stories that I can't share with you. But he's a first-class guy, and you look at all the coaches that he's put on, like to the NHL or the ECHL, and the players that have gone there, and they live there full time now. They have their families there. Robbie's done a great job, and he loved the Stingrays more than anybody, and he loves the people there. And for being the president of that team, you couldn't ask for a better guy to do it. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more than win the championship my first year there, and the friendships. And I think I played 18 games in the playoffs, and those 18 games I couldn't play any better. That was my best hockey of my life. Ricky Rive just said to me, he goes, "You got to play better to be in the lineup." And after we beat Charlotte in the first round, he said to me, "That's the hockey you need to play to stay in the lineup." So that's the stuff that you remember. And Ricky was a great motivator, and you wanted to play hard for him, and that's what I try to do.
Highlights from the recently completed conference finals when ECHL week continues.
New buyers can benefit by working with a trusted real estate agent. Will Springer is your trusted advisor for buyers and sellers. For a free consultation or to find an agent in your area of the country, contact Will today.
Information about a contract extension leads off our news from around the ECHL.
Steve Martinson, the only general manager and head coach the Allen Americans have had since entering the ECHL in 2014, will be staying on for a while. The team announced during the Western Conference Final Series that Martinson has agreed to a multi-year deal to continue in those roles. Having just completed his 25th year as a minor pro head coach, Martinson, who appeared in 49 NHL games as a player, is in lofty territory in the ECHL record book. He's 5th all-time in games coached and 4th in coaching victories. In playoff categories, he's 2nd in postseason games coached and number 3 in playoff wins. 4 referees selected for the Kelly Cup Finals will be making their second appearances in the championship round. They are Andrew Bruggeman, Sean McFarland, Alex Normandin, and Andrew Wilk. Just one linesman, Chris Williams, will be making his second appearance in the finals. The other 4 are working the championship round for the first time. All game officials are selected based upon their performances throughout the regular season and the Kelly Cup playoffs.
As Fort Wayne and South Carolina prepare to do battle for the ECHL title, let's take a look back at the conference championships to see how the Comets and Stingrays advanced to the Kelly Cup Finals.
Allen started fast. Corey Mackin scored this goal and assisted on 2 others as the Americans took a 5-2 victory in Game 1. Game 2 also featured a quick start for Allen, which held a 4-1 lead after 40 minutes. But 3 goals in less than 9 minutes in the third period forced the game to overtime, and this goal by Oliver Cooper gave Fort Wayne its first win. In Game 3, it was the Comets' turn for a fast start. 4 first-period goals, including 2 by Anthony Nellis, paved the way in a 4-3 decision. That set the stage for the series-clinching goal by the Comets' Alan Lazarchik, barely a minute into overtime of Game 4. And the result was Fort Wayne's first trip to the Kelly Cup Finals.
Going to the finals! Alan Lazarchik, the Polish Prince, does it again!
In the East, after South Carolina rolled to a 5-1 win behind a pair of goals from Andrew Chernichen in Game 1, the Swamp Rabbits rebounded. Playing at home, Garrett Thompson scored and added 2 assists in a 5-2 Game 2 victory for Greenville. Game 3 featured a stunning comeback. Down 2-0 with 11 minutes to play, the Rays tied the game and then got this oddly bouncing game winner from Dan DeSalvo with 20 seconds left to stun the Bunnies. Game 4 was classic playoff hockey. And after this goal by Brett Supinski, South Carolina never trailed in a 2-1 decision. The series win helped the Stingrays to become just the second fourth-place team and first in 23 years, since Hampton Roads in 1998, to qualify for the Kelly Cup Finals.
That wraps up another edition of ECHL Week. Thank you very much for watching. Our next show will be after the conclusion of the Kelly Cup Finals. We don't know exactly when that's going to be, so make sure to follow us on all of our social media outlets to find out when the next show will air. See you then.